I'm Dave Jewell. I'm Marketing Manager for Yamaha Drums. I'm out in Oroville, Ohio. I'm actually from our offices in Buena Park, California, so I'm visiting the music farm here in Oroville, which is home of the Smuckers Corporation. Everybody knows that. Great jellies, jams. And then also Bobby Knight actually grew up in Oroville, if anybody's a basketball fan, and with the NCAA tournament going on, who is not right now? So I'm here mainly to talk about right now our new drum set we introduced about a year ago called the Rock Tour drum set. And this drum set is very much a deviation from what Yamaha is known for. And it's taken finishes that are really kind of outside the box for us. And also shell construction that we use, really catered toward the rock genre. And this drum set is very, very easy to tune. So some of the features with the Rock Tour drum set I'll talk about, and some of the things with Yamaha right now that's very unique to Yamaha is the way we make our shells. So one thing with the Rock Tour kit is our shells are made with an air seal system shell, and it's a staggered diagonal seam. And what that means, air seal system, is when the shell is put into the mold, there's actually an airbag that goes in before the glue is dried, and there's even distribution of pressure going around in the shell. So the shell's stronger when it goes into the microwave oven when it's cooked, and the glue is dry. Also, a staggered diagonal seam means that at 120 degrees around the shell, there's a seam, a seam, a seam to create strength and a perfectly round shell. And the other thing is that it's a staggered diagonal seam. It's not a straight shell. It's not what's called a scarf joint in the shell, but it's staggered. So when the shell is made, these angles are pounded together, so it's a consistent shell. On these drums, it's a 45-degree bearing edge. So it makes for a lot of attack, but yet it has, because of the big leaf mahogany, it has a low fundamental. So these shells are made of 100% big leaf mahogany. It's very unique to Yamaha. It's a seed that's grown from Malaysia. It's grown in Indonesia, and it has a very low fundamental. But the thing is, it's perfect for rock because it doesn't have a lot of overtones like a maple drum. So they're very easy to tune. They have a lot of attack and a lot of bottom end. So the other unique thing with these drums is, on this particular kit behind me, is the matte finish, and we also have the matte hardware to go along with it. So it's got a pretty aggressive, cool vibe for it instead of having the chrome hardware and like a high gloss finish. These drums, for example, were used, if anybody saw the Lexus IS250 commercial, these are the drums that were featured in that. And actually, these drums here at the music farm were the actual drums that were used in the commercial. So that's a great thing that they have here, and I know that they have some great deals on these particular drum sets that were used in that commercial. So the other thing that's very unique about the drum set is the claw hooks. There's a rubber gasket here if you can get a shot at that. So it's not going to scratch the hoop or, scratch the color on it. And as we're looking at this too, if you want to take a shot down here, this is actually the first time that we've used actually this logo. It took about 5 years to get that actual logo through the branding committee, where we've had the tuning fork on top and the Yamaha down below. The other cool thing that we do with this is our hardware for Yamaha is second to none in the industry. This ball joint system has been used for years and is actually adapted by a lot of other companies, but it's really unique to Yamaha. This ball joint, the cool thing is that I can mount, maneuver this drum any way I want. The other great thing is I can actually turn the drum completely over if I wanted to. If I had to tune the drum on the back side, I can actually do this and tune it and do that. The other thing, the suspension mount system that is on this Yamaha drum is called the Yes Mount system. Now what this is mounted at what's called the nodal point of the drum shell. The nodal point of the drum shell is basically the dead part of the shell. It's the same thing as if you're familiar with a marimba bar or a vibraphone bar, that the string, the cord that goes through there is at the nodal point. So this right here, this point of the shell, is at the dead part of the shell, so it lets the drum sustain and ring and gives the true character of the shell comes out. Okay, a couple other things I want to talk about very quickly is the Yamaha hardware itself. So for example, this is a CS755 cymbal stand. A couple of unique things here is that on the wing bolt here, you can take this and loosen it up. And when you come here and do this, it's never going to fall off and nick the drum because it's not threaded right at the top. Our felts are the same felt that are used on our pianos. You know, the piano hammer. So it's really, if you look at Yamaha cymbal stands, this felt is high grade felt. It's, you know, better than anything else out there in the industry. The other cool thing that was first for Yamaha is this sleeve here. And that was designed years ago because the metal bracket that was under there used to rattle in the studio when people were playing cymbals. So now this is a screw-on sleeve that actually just screws down so it never makes any noise, which is really a cool feature with this. The other thing is, this is also a hideaway boom stand. And a lot of other companies have adapted this. Yamaha was the first to do this, but this stand can become a straight stand or it can become a boom stand. But this is, now a lot of other companies are doing the same thing, but it was a unique Yamaha invention at the time. So the other thing, it's cool, when you're breaking down, and a lot of times you're in a hurry, you're at a club, you want to break down, you want to get home, you've done a 4-hour gig, you want to collapse things. We have rubber gaskets here so that when you, like say you're just in a hurry and drop it down, this is not going to damage anything, you're not going metal on metal. So this little, just a little piece in here, that rubber, is a little thing that Yamaha does to actually give you a much longer life on your hardware. The other thing that's very unique is that this is these bolts, and if you look at everybody else, this bolt right here is really a hardened steel bolt. And a lot of times with less expensive stands, this bolt here is going to flatten out, and what's going to happen is it's going to flatten out and strip. These, it does not happen with these because of the hardened steel. And I can take this bolt, when I put it back in, I don't really have to torque this down to get it to stay. I can just do this, and man, it's not moving. So it's not like I have to torque hardware or I'm going to over torque it or do anything like that. And on this particular drum set, right now we're mounting the 12-inch tom off the cymbal stand. And what are we mounting it on? We're mounting it on the tube of the cymbal stand. And the diameter or the thickness of our tubes is much thicker than any other company. And you'll notice when you do it on here, a lot of other stands will crimp up and smash so that when you do try to collapse the stand, it won't collapse properly. So that's a big difference that we use in here. All of our hardware was designed through our motorcycle factory. It's not manufactured in our motorcycle factory anymore, but the design and the concept as far as the chrome plating process, everything is the same that's used on the muffler of a motorcycle is the same that's used on our hardware. So here I am behind the Rock Tour drum set and featuring the 100% big leaf mahogany shell. And what I want to talk about is the sound of this shell, what it gives you. And that's what we talk about is, like behind me, it's massive attack, a lot of low end, not a lot of overtone, so it's very easy to tune. So I came in here and it took me less than 5 minutes to dial in this drum set. So the snare drum, like we talked about, is a 10-leg snare drum. So it's got a lot of low end, a lot of fundamental, but if you want to get a real shot out of this, it's cracks like unbelievable. It's got an unbelievable crack to it. And the tom, it's a shorter decay, so it's really easy to tune. And the other thing that's huge on this is the bass drum. This bass drum just, I mean, it sounds amazing. At 2218, right now I don't have a hole on the front of it, but it really gives you a lot of sound. So if you're playing live or playing in your garage with your band, this thing is going to cut through. So things they project, they're easy to tune, a lot of low end, perfect for rock music. All right, and I'm Dave Jewell, I'm marketing manager for Yamaha Drums out here in Orrville, Ohio. I'm from Buena Park, California, and you're on Farm TV checking out the new Rock Tour drum set.